Greetings, everybody. This is Musical Connections, and our coverage of the Churchill Park Music Festival continues as I connect you with one of the other acts that is going to be opening up on Friday night. If you're hearing this today, they'll be opening up first thing. I believe their set times around 5 o'clock, and there are one of Prince Edward Island's biggest rock bands to come out in the 1980s, and still to this day, he's producing albums for the likes of Ava and Lily and Logan Richard. He is David Rashed from Haywire. David, how are you, buddy?
Good, man. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, and nice to meet you finally here on Zoom here. And thanks for taking the time to do this.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Now, you're at your studio at the Guild in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, and I was in Charlottetown last year for the East Coast Music Awards, and just such a beautiful community there too.
Yeah, it's a really small place, but everything is 5-10 minutes away. It's pretty special.
One thing I found out about Charlottetown, you guys still use coin parking.
You don't?
We don't. We changed that about just before 2020 happened.
Wow. Yeah, we have hotspots. So you have the choice. You can do a hotspot on your phone, or you can pop a coin in.
Yeah, and it was just really cool to be in Charlottetown. And one thing you do have over us, I think your wharf is more open than ours is, because ours is pretty closed off.
Awesome.
Now, of course, you're going to be coming back to St. John's for the 2025 Churchill Park Music Festival. You're going to be opening up for Sam Roberts Band, Honeymoon Suite, and, of course, headliners Def Leppard. How excited are you to be coming back to St. John's?
We're very pumped to be on this bill. It's like we've been fans of Def Leppard, geez, since they started for sure, and we're very excited to come back to St. John's. It's been a while. St. John's is not in our normal. All our gigs seem to be out west. we don't go east that much, so it's nice when we get a chance to do that.
Absolutely, and of course, you being from Charlottetown, it is hard to get out to Charlottetown and then to St. John's, because I've experienced this myself getting from St. John's to Charlottetown, and I told this many times on my podcast of how the only way really to get through Charlottetown is through Montreal or Toronto, or go through Halifax and then drive up there.
Yeah, that's everything changed. My sister works with the airlines, so they lost the flights from Halifax, so you do have to go to the major city and then come back to Charlottetown that way. Unfortunately, so it's a different world we're living in.
For sure. Now, when was the last time that you were in Newfoundland?
We played the George Street Festival a while ago. I think that was the last time we were there. I'm not sure what year that was. And then the time before that, we played. It's when you did your time. You went ahead 2 hours when daylight savings time was 2 hours.
Double daylight savings time.
Yes.
Wow.
We played. We were there at that time. As like we just finished doing the gig at 11:30 at night or something. It's like went out. It was completely daylight. It was like, okay, this is weird. But it was, I think you only did it the 1 year, right?
Yeah, I wasn't even born during that time, actually. I'm only 29 years old.
Yeah, okay, well, it was very interesting for sure.
Now, of course, you guys were part of this big wave of new wave glam metal kind of hard rock sounding bands that came out of Canada in the 1980s. I just spoke with Derry Grahan of Honeymoon Suite yesterday when this dropped. But Haywire was a unique band that came out of Charlottetown, and especially when it comes to maritime bands, you take your pick. April Wine was a big one, Sloan's a big one from the 1990s. Just take your pick on some of the great maritime bands that came out of there, and your guys are one of them. So how did this whole group start, and how did you get into music, David?
I've always loved music, ever since I was in grade 1 or 2. It's in PEI, you don't have a lot of choices, the same as St. John's, Newfoundland. It's like probably everybody over there plays an instrument, and the same in Charlottetown. It's you know, from very early on. I think it was grade two. I remember going take guitar lessons and practicing for 2 or 3, 4 hours a day afterwards. And I met Paul, Marvin. They were in rival bands, and we all knew each other. So um, it's just a small community here, and but the musical community is like you just know everybody that's doing something. So uh, we formed Haywire. It was a band that was able to leave Prince Edward Island. That's essentially why we formed the band.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's true that like Charlottetown and St. John's have like similarities to each other. Charlottetown's like population, I believe, is 40,000. We're about 110, 120,000, but we're still small cities compared to like, the major municipality of the Maritimes is Halifax. And then you go outside of there, you have Montreal and Toronto, which are major music cities as well. But you guys were lucky to get signed to Attic Records back in the late 80s. And you guys have some great success with songs like Dance Desire, Bad Bad Boy, Black and Blue. And I can see right there behind you in your studio, you have a double multi-platinum records behind you for the first two records. What are some of your favorite memories of those days back in the '80s when you guys were really at your peak?
Well, we were actually in Newfoundland when we got signed. So we were playing Stephenville, Corner Brook, and then we got the word that we Stephenville, we were basically set up for the gig, and the record company said we need you in the studio. So we just left that. I don't even know if we did a gig or we played or we set up. We might have played one night. I'm not sure, but
Wow.
we were in the studio right before that, so it was very exciting.
For sure. So what do you enjoy most about coming here to Newfoundland and Labrador?
I think it's the people for sure. We have some great memories of Newfoundland. You know, just the Maritimes in general. It's just it's just very heartfelt, and the people there. We just like the people there. And it was great to be part of that community growing up too. So when Haywire, you know, we were first band. We're from PEI, but we're from the Maritimes too. So when we're playing all across the country, we were from the East Coast, right?
Yeah, for sure. And you guys were formed just before like music industry associations were really formed. Like I think you guys formed a few years before the Maritime Music Association was formed, and that ended up becoming the East Coast Music Association. And a couple years before Music Newfoundland and Labrador was formed, 1992 was when it was formed here. Um, how has music evolved, like in your eyes, from when you guys first started in the late '80s to where it is today?
I think back then, I mean, the early '80s when we started, I think there was not a lot of support for bands. It was like, if you want to do it, you did it. You had to make it happen. Where now there's great associations that you can go get assistance and they can kind of step you through the couple processes and kind of get you there faster. Where I think when we started, we had to go through some of the mistakes ourselves, right? Um, I think that's the difference.
Oh, 100%. And it's more accessible nowadays too, because like that's power with the internet with all the websites and stuff, and just having more members and more people that are like actively going towards these things. It makes for a much stronger, more consistent music industry in the long run.
Yeah. And I know the industry it's evolving and changing and as everything is in life, but it's like you got to go you got to see what the industry is today and then just and go there. Like it's just different every time. So I just finished uploading an album for my daughters, Ava and Lily, last night actually. Um they just finished a pop album and they're going to release it this Friday. So they're very pumped about that. But you couldn't do that 20, 30, 40 years ago. You just can't upload an album and okay, there it's doing what it's going to do, right?
Yeah, and that's the power of the internet too. Like you can upload a song to like Spotify or Apple Music, and it can be distributed everywhere. But also that
Yeah.
still remains the fact that like albums and hard copies are still just as important to, ensuring one's success. And especially with those gold and platinum records you got in the background there, you guys have done very, very well for yourselves.
Yeah. Well, it's again that was a different time. The gold albums, they were they're a lot harder to get nowadays than they were back then. Well, they were hard back then, but it's like, at least you could get them back then. That's the good thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people are more streaming more and not so much buying CDs or records. But funnily enough, vinyl records are outselling CDs for the first time in years. So
No, it's very cyclical, for sure.
now, with all your work that you guys done for Prince Edward Island and for the Atlantic Canadian provinces, you guys were recognized by Music PEI in 2006 for with all the work you've done in the music industry with the Lifetime Achievement Award. And 5 years later, you were honored with the same thing from the East Coast Music Association. So, how did it feel to receive those honors from those organizations?
Uh, it felt great, honestly. It just to be acknowledged for what you did to the community and what you added to the musical industry as a whole was very positive. It's we still have a lot to say, we think, as a band, and we're still moving forward. We're still doing our thing, but it's nice to be recognized for what you did in the past.
Absolutely. Now, ever since then, you've formed your own production company, David Rashed Productions, and you've also produced albums, of course, for your daughters Ava and Lily. But one thing I found very interesting, you produced album for Logan Richard, who's become one of the biggest singer-songwriters to come out of the island. There's also a couple of other artists like Noah Malcolm, who plays with Kelly Loader from time to time. How did you start up your own production company and this studio you got here on the
Yeah,
video?
well, it's always been a dream to have a studio in Charlottetown, and I was very excited when we were in the studio back in the '80s. I was just like a fly in the wall. Like I just want to soak it all in, like asking a lot of maybe too many questions, but it was very interesting, and I knew that I was very interested in that aspect of music, and Logan was part of Music PEI. Like sometimes Music PEI will rent my studio for a few days to get different artists in. There's been many artists over the years. Logan's just one. Um, and that's talking about the associations investing in the artists, right? So they get a couple of days in the studio and just see how things work and work on their new music.
Absolutely. Now, who are some of the other acts off the top of your head there that have passed through the guild?
Oh my gosh. I it's funny. I'm so busy working with different people. It's like as soon as they're gone, like I'm focused on the next person. So the list is I got a long list. I gotta go back and refresh that. But I've had a lot of people through here in the last few 10 years.
Is there any like one or just name like one or two that have been through that really stick out in your mind? If
Oh my gosh. But I can't think right now, honestly. Like I just wait. I can't think of anybody right now. So
no, it's all good. And
yeah,
like when you're at work a lot, like it's hard to put names to faces sometimes of all the people that you encounter. But it's the memories that really last a lifetime that really make producing music and producing content worth it.
yeah. It's when I'm working with somebody, it's like, you're getting a lot of experience with with working with me. So like I bring everything I have to the project. So which is good. Like we're talking about not making or minimizing your mistakes, doing less mistakes as you go. And I just in the recording as well. So I kind of give all I have and to the project, and and hopefully, you know, the work they got to move forward with what they're doing. But it's like I give all I have at the same time. So
Oh, 100%. What goes into the process of, making an album or making like an audio recording or a voiceover or something like that? What goes into the process there?
well, it's different. Every project is different. Some people come in with a guitar and an idea, and other people come in with some tracks, and they just need to do a vocal. It's different. Every artist is different. Um, and that's what I like about this business. It's not the same every day.
Oh, 100%. Um, when it comes to like making it here in like the East Coast.
Oh, I just thought of
Oh,
one
no,
artist,
go for it. Go for it.
and he's from your backyard. Alan Doyle was in here a couple years ago.
Wow.
He did some recording for Tell Tale Harbour. He brought the cast in. They were doing some vocal stuff. So that's one artist. So I have a lot of people like that come in here. So
I mean, when it comes to Alan Dole, he's one of the biggest names we've got out of here, especially coming up back in the 90s and 2000s with Great Big Sea. And look what he's done now with, all of his great music in his solo career, with the Dollar Day Foundation, with the new play Tell Tale Harbour that debuted in Charlottetown last year.
yeah, it was a great show. Great show.
When you're bringing in all these new upcoming musicians, what advice are you giving them to, ensure some success in their lives?
Just to work hard. Just to, it's put the song first, work hard, and just go for it. Like I am very positive. I give them a positive message, and I'm there's a lot of people in this industry that are negative, that talk down, are jaded by the industry, what have you. But I don't do that. If they want to do that, that's great. They walk through the door, they do their best, and what happens happens. So I want this experience to be a good experience for them.
Oh, 100%. And especially in the world of social media where like you have some positive content, some negative content as well. And like at the end of the day, it's the positive ones that'll really stand out and really, have that sustained success too. And providing that experience when you go into the recording booth will help them out in the long run too.
Yeah, it's part of the puzzle. It's like the music industry, you got to do all the other parts to make it happen.
Oh, for sure. Now, for people who haven't seen a Haywire show yet, when you guys come back here to Churchill Park, and by the time that this airs, this will be happening tonight, and you guys will be the first act up. What can people expect when they see Haywire on stage?
Well, the one thing that I'm always surprised for the audience is you hear back from people that they didn't realize that we wrote the buzz. We wrote just all the hits that we wrote. That's the main thing. You hear from time and time again that I didn't know you wrote that song. So and we have too many songs to play. Like I think we're scheduled for an hour at this show. So we're cutting some songs out just to make this fit. So it's just going to be song after song. It's going to be recognizable songs.
Mm-hmm. And some of those songs that have been played here, like here on local radio stations in Newfoundland and Labrador, "Bad Bad Boy," "Black and Blue," is what song do you feel like gets the most play out of your entire catalog?
Uh, thinking about the years we won a national award for that song, we beat out actually Jim Vallance and Bryan Adams. Believe it or not, the year that
Wow.
that was released, it was the most played single that year. Like, and that's a beautiful song. It's just a very perspective song looking back, and it's kind of when we wrote it, it was like 30 years looking back at today. It was really weird. But it was like the other song that is very recognizable is The Buzz. That they're just they're played a lot. You hear them all the time and in different places.
You beat out Bryan Adams and Jim Vallance. Like, they're two of the biggest Canadian singer-songwriters. Well, Bryan Adams in the case of singer-songwriter, Jim Vallance for collaborator. I mean, he co-wrote What About Love, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I know. I know.
And Bryan Adams is also one of the biggest critics of Canadian content.
Good. Well, there you go.
But like, of course, he put out "Waking Up the Neighbors" in '91 and flipped CanCon on its head, and it has been the same since.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that must have been a huge accomplishment for you, and that was for Bad Bad Boy or Black and Blue.
That award was for thinking about the years.
Oh, thinking about the years. Okay, that's crazy to believe that you beat out those two like songwriting legends.
It was the most played song of that year, so we won an award for that.
A Juno?
No, I don't think it was a Juno. It was some award. We set Marvin up, and he accepted the award. So I have to ask him. I'll ask him after this podcast.
Yes, we'll check this. We'll check this off the air here too. But
Yeah.
before I let you go here, when for people who want to find out more about what you're going to be doing with your production company, and also any new gigs for Haywire, where can they go?
Haywireband.ca is our website. We usually kind of it's kind of a retrospective website, but it's the current dates are listed there. Davidrashed.ca is my website. It's not very active, but it's my studio, kind of what's happening here. So,
And
yeah.
if there's one word or phrase to describe the career you've had, David, what would that be and why?
Exciting, because it's never the same day twice.
Great way to wrap up this conversation, David. Can't wait to see you at Churchill Park. Thanks for doing this.
Okay, thank you, Zach. Thank you, everybody.